Thank you, guys, and thanks to the Reed corporate team, and I guess Headley for putting me on the spot in terms of a stock to watch. So yes, obviously copper focused exploration, discovery growth across Canada and Peru. Usual disclaimers. We're enacting Creasy's vision. We've got 3 geologists running an exploration company, so each bringing a different, area of expertise. Rob, corporate and M&A. Long track record of successful M&A there. Myself, strong technical background through the School of Northern Star in the junior sector recently, and Simon, the ability to attract a lot of money with the success at Spartan over the recent years. The corporate overview, so still quite tightly held in terms of the register. We just completed a capital raise, putting 3 million in the bank to fund our short-term exploration strategies. Giving us an enterprise value of about 19.3. Our largest shareholder was the vendor of the Skyline asset, which is in Canada, which was completed middle of last year. The rest is strategic, so Hong Kong Jason is there for the potential offtake in the future. Spartan's following their position as this is a spin-out of the Firefly Gascoigne merger. And Terra Capital Funds, obviously very interested in the copper space as well. The key value drivers for us, so we think we're exploring in 2 of the best jurisdictions in the world. Canada globally as a country is great for mining. Newfoundland probably the best, as Cookie highlighted. We're looking for district scale VMS, so similar VMS style, more polymetallic. We've got zinc, we've got silver as well, but we've got 110 square kilometres and 25 kilometres of prospective strike that is hosting these ore bodies, and we're only just starting to scratch the surface with previous works that are limited to one small part of it. We're also targeting, tier 1 scale porphyry discoveries in Peru, so big prize there, and a good example of what's the value there is what Ozquest has just recently achieved with their discovery of a large porphyry there. So that's still very early stage, but the opportunity for growth there is huge. For me, Peacher being selected as part of the BHP Explore program sort of validates what we think about the project, that it is very good, and BHP coming in and saying that they think it's worth more of a look is just amazing, not just from the funding point of view, but the level of oversight. They're helping us build a better business, better strategies, and to sort of be a better business to move forward. And obviously with the management team in the last 6 months, that's had a big change out to really drive home that sort of strengthened, success-driven, data-driven technical oversight on driving an exploration company. So I'll start through Skyline and then work my way down through Peru. So as Darren highlighted, great place to do business, and mineral opportunities are abundant. If Trump doesn't want to go as big as Greenland, Newfoundland would be a good place to buy as well. That's just a small example of, the mineral tenure that they've got across the island of Newfoundland. So the opportunity is high grade. The workforce is very blue collar. They're based around fishing, hunting, and mining. That's what they all came for there originally, and it still persists to this day. So the mining isn't a bad word over there. They love it. That's their bread and butter. If they're not on a boat, they're digging a hole. Again, from a high level, the jurisdiction, very supportive as well. The permitting process is as straightforward as you can get. Within weeks, you can get drill permits, geophysics permits, and be on the ground doing work. So a very fast turnaround in terms of being able to do work. And you fly in there from Toronto. We're 2 hours drive from the nearest international airport. We've got a road that runs across the northern end of our property, so we can get there year round. We're actually on the ground in January doing downhole geophysics. The historic mine, so this was mined back in the 1900s. It's historically very high grade. World War I put an end to that mine itself. Since then, nothing really meaningful was done till about the 1990s when Naranda picked it up and started drilling a few holes. Since then, passed on a few hands. Copper price wasn't as favourable. We looked at it through a different lens, that these things don't exist in isolation. So that's where that untapped exploration opportunity was, that this is a 8 kilometre long strike, mineralised host, and the cluster of VMS style deposits is definitely there. So for us, that's where the opportunity is, and then using modern exploration methodology. So previously it's been, small, low-powered, low-impact exploration, whereas we're getting, I guess, the Australian approach, which is where it differs from the Canadian one, is investing that capital to unlock the potential of the belt scale, as opposed to just focusing on the shiny thing on the surface, let's drill a hole underneath that. So again, great drill results that show that the pedigree is there, that can host really high grades, so 29 at 5% copper. It's sitting within 200 metres of surface as well. So there is copper there, we just need to define where more of it is. This is how we're doing it, through the geophysics. So we've recently released the results of our first EM survey, which covered the northern end of the property. That's unlocked, I guess, 16 of the 25 kilometres of potential strike. We've got another target further to the north, a lot closer to the existing mine, that we're following up on in short order. The most exciting thing to come out of this EM survey that we got was the Veyron target, which sits to the south, and a slightly different lithological host, but a twin plate, 500 by 700 metre EM conductor with geophysics that aligns with what we're seeing at the mine itself. So that's the next cab off the rank after the governor's target, which I'll talk to a bit in shortly. Following that, we'll get some more heli EM second half of the year over the southern half of the property, and really expose the other 9 kilometres of strike that we're seeing down there. So this is the governor's target. So this was sort of a data-driven, I guess, identification that the fold sequence indicated that there could be something there. It was just where it sat and if it was within striking distance of the surface. So understanding the rocks and then asking the right question with the geophysics on the back of that. So this target, I guess, shows that the science works. We've got something there. We're getting a 3D IP survey done. That's due to commence next month, which will give us then spatial targets where we can then plan our drill holes and actually target a specific horizon. So this target's 1,200 metres long by 400 metres wide, and hasn't been tested since the 1960s. So no one's actually bothered to look, no one's had the ability to, and the modern exploration methods we see now, we can see a lot deeper with a lot better resolution. To the Peru project, so 2 projects in Peru. I'll cover off Petra in this talk. So it was selected for the BHP Explore program, which is, again, offering that technical oversight. So BHP's actually got quite a large presence in Peru, across the country, even more so obviously in South America with their operations there. So we've got access to porphyry specialist geologists, geochemists, geochronologists to help us understand what we're working with. We're surrounded by other big, large operating mines. So the pedigree is there. In-country team. So we've got 5 Peruvians working the ground, Andean porphyry geologists that live and breathe this stuff. So that's what they've been doing their whole careers. So they really understand and can handle the altitude. Great community and government relations, which is really important over there. Having the support of the local community to do anything in any jurisdiction is important, but especially in Peru. We've got a camp, we've got good infrastructure, we've got good access. So mining is the lifeblood of Peru. They produce a significant amount of the world's copper, and it makes up a large part of their exports as well. The Petra Copper Project, so looking for porphyries. So this new target we've identified to the north, on the back of the process-driven systems that BHP have given us. To me, it looks like a collapsed caldera, but you can make up your own mind on that one, which is looking like it could host a porphyry. We're on the ground there at the moment doing geochem, alteration analysis, really understanding where we are sitting in the system. And as part of the BHP program, we're actually doing a property-wide gravity survey, which will give us a then really good 3D model about where potential accumulations of massive of sulfides are sitting below surface for us to then target. We do have another target that has been on the cards for a few years and is advancing through the geophysics and geochemistry phase. The drill permit for that one is due Q2 this year. So we've got trenches at the surface, 30 metres at 0.79%, 24 at 1%. These are large, broad, enriched zones of copper. It's not just a flash in the pan. So short order is drill these targets that we know about, and then the second one is develop this larger one that is potentially sitting to the north. So yeah, a brief summary of, I guess, the last 6 to 8 months since we acquired the Skyline project. Initial drill program, understand the ore body, understand how to target it. Through that process, we've then identified these further targets, so that's going to feed the next phase of growth and exploration up in Canada, with more geophysics, ground-based geophysics to really dial in, do the cheapest method possible to get the most bang for your buck in terms of advancing a project to the drill-ready phase. Divested the lithium rights, all that money gets fed back into the system, driving the copper projects. Just completed a capital raise, so we're funded for the next stage of exploration. The BHP Explore program coming in to sort of set a real structured framework of a plan of how to develop the Peru assets is all there as well. So the next 6 to 8 months is pretty exciting, lots of news flow, lots of things happening and really advancing the projects. So, in summary, the key reasons to invest. So, we're trying to develop targets. We're not just meeting expenditure. We're not having a guess. This is data-driven strategies feeding the pipeline of projects that we see ahead. We've got an active divestment strategy. We've still got a couple of assets in Australia that don't add value to what we're doing. So we're going to use that to fund where the value can be added. Got a team with a proven track record of adding value. We've done it before. My time with Northern Star, Simon's done it with Spartan, Rob's vended Bellevue. So a track record of actually achieving success through, proven strategies, and obviously the strategic partner. That BHP Explore program, that's getting us investment ready from the BHP perspective. They want to see certain things happening in the business, and they're helping us achieve that, as well as that technical oversight and developing the Peacher project. So yes, any questions, feel free to come have a chat at lunchtime. Happy to talk to any questions, and thanks for your time.